Yes, Mark, I'm still stuck with you.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we're still waiting for Beth Giuliani to come out from the locker room, and she'll take over for me any minute now.
Let's talk a little bit about the Mountaineers men's basketball team. They've struggled a little bit. They've had a lot of injuries. Captain Rick Sabek was out for a large part of the season, at least a large part of the PSAC season, with injuries. Leland Kent's banged up right now a little bit. Injuries have really hurt this basketball team.
That's right, and a couple players who just sort of not really came out of nowhere, but have proved to be more of a help to the Mountaineers than really thought of at the beginning of the season. Tim Cook, just a wonderful job so far this season, and look for him tonight against the Stroudsburg Warriors.
Tim Cook has played spectacular. You mentioned his name. You can't say enough about him. He's due for a big game tonight. The last 3 games, he has scored 20, he has scored 10, he has scored 20. He has scored 10, and this is the time. He's ready to score 20 tonight. I really think that if he could do that, Mansfield could win this basketball game. And let's go to another interview now with our own Lisa Pody.
Hi, this is Lisa Pody with Coach Haller, the women's coach of the East Stroudsburg basketball team. You must be really excited about your girls' win this evening.
Yeah, I'm excited. It keeps our, it was a must-win for us to stay in second place, so it was a good win.
But they really seem to work together. How do you feel about that?
I think so, and it's nice because it's a young team, and it's taken us a long time to get to this point. But and I'm happy with the way they play because it's always tough to come to Mansfield and play.
Have we been competitive against you in the past?
I'm sorry?
Have we been competitive against you in the past?
Well, this is only my second year, and the 3 times we've played them, we've won. But they always give us a good game. We know when you come here, you have to play hard.
You said that you're in second place. How far do you think you're going to go?
Well, we were picked 4th, so right now I'm happy to be in second, and it's really up in the air. We still have 2 tough away games, and we have to play the top 2 teams at home yet, so it'd be interesting to see.
Okay, well, good luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Back to you, Mike and Mark.
Okay, thanks very much, Lisa. And at this time, we're going to take a break here, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes with the start of tonight's second game.
Sponsored by Pudgy's. Pudgy's on South Main Street in Mansfield is the place for pizza and subs. With local delivery, a convenience store, and convenient hours, Pudgy's is a store for you. Call them now at 662-7177 and have them deliver a pizza or sub so you can enjoy the rest of the game.
And by Horns Chiropractic Health Center of Towanda. Horns specializes in sports injuries and other chronic pains. Horns also has a new rehabilitation center. Call 265-9796 to set up an appointment today. Horns Chiropractic Center.
And by the Tin Goose Gift Shop. The Tin Goose Gift Shop at 15 North Main Street in Mansfield is your place for unique and unusual gifts. The Tin Goose is open Monday through Thursday 10 to 5:30, Friday 10 to 8, and Saturday 10 to 5:30. The Tin Goose Gift Shop.
Back here at Decker Gymnasium, Mike Miller and Beth has joined me now after a brief bout with Mark Sanders once again. How you doing today, Beth?
Good. Quickest I ever got ready, I think.
Another tough game out there for you guys today.
Definitely. We really came into this game thinking that we had a chance to beat them, especially being at home. And when we played them away, we played real horrible. So we expected it to be a lot closer of a contest.
Let's talk a little bit about today's game. Mountaineers men's team, another tough battle. This time against the East Stroudsburg Warriors. Last time they were up by 8. With about 5 minutes left to go, and then all of a sudden it just fell apart.
Yeah, I was real surprised the last game with them having the trouble that they had in the end. East Stroudsburg put on a full court press, and Mansfield really had trouble with it. And I think with 5 minutes left, they were up, and then they didn't score for like a 3-minute streak. So they really shut down Kenny May towards the end of the game, and I think he's a big factor. I mean, he's been shut down the last few games, and Mansfield hasn't been winning, so they need to get him open.
That was sort of the start of his struggle towards the second half of the season.
Sure, like I said, in a lot of his past games, and even in the Millersville game the other day, he was shut down. And they need to get him open. He's not really looking for a shot as much, I don't think. And, Coach Ackerman was playing him like he didn't even start him. And then when he finally did bring him in, he really got limited playing time. And they really need to get him open to be successful. They can't just they can't just win with just their big people.
I have word to watch out for Kenny today, so we'll see what happens with that. We saw Rick Sabek play again the other day. He is still hobbled by that injury.
Oh, sure, there's no question. Rick really, you can really see him favoring his stomach and everything, and he says he feels good, but I think, especially the other day, against Millersville, he was up against such a big guy that he had a lot of trouble, and East Stroudsburg doesn't have as many big guys as Millersville did. And remember, Rick didn't play in the last East Stroudsburg game, so I think he could make a difference.
Mansfield coming in a game and a half out of that second playoff spot. East Stroudsburg is in that position right now. They've played one game less, though, than everyone else. Mountaineers have a long way to go if they want to get into a playoff spot, but it is possible. They play their toughest games of the regular season here, and that always helps.
Oh, sure, and East Stroudsburg has always been a very competitive team, but there's no question that the Mountaineers can knock them off on their home court.
Mountaineers public address announcer Chris Vaughn ready to get started here, and once he does, we'll take a pause for the national anthem. For the Mountaineers to get back into the playoffs here, it'd be a very big step.
Oh, sure. Last year they really expected to get into the playoffs, and they fell just a little bit short. And I think this year they're really looking forward to it, especially with someone like Rick Sabek, and this is his senior year. And I really don't think he wants to go out of here without making it to the playoffs.
And it doesn't seem like we're going to have a national anthem today, so let's go ahead and give you the starting lineups. For East Stroudsburg, it will be number 5, Eric White, number 11, Jeff Macko, number 21, Maurice Clark, number 31, Tyson Murdoch, and incidentally, Tyson Murdoch is the brother of Eric Murdoch, who used to play for the Providence Friars. Now I believe he's playing for the Milwaukee Bucks. And number 34, Lonnie White. For the Mountaineers, that lineup we've seen here recently, Coach Ackerman's going to stick with it. Tim Cook. Tim's due for a big game this week. Number 50, Chris Fink. Tyrone Fisher will be the guard. Leland Kent at the forward, and Sean Newman. Sean played a strong game in the loss at Millersville on Saturday.
I think Sean's been playing consistently strong recently. You know, he really turned up his game in the Lockhaven game, and ever since then, he's really been consistent, and he's really been leading this team with the absence of Rick Sabek. Now to have Rick back and Sean playing so well, that can really help them.
It's nice to see Rick's 13 points back into the lineup like we've seen here these last couple of days, and it's amazing that he's still scoring that much with as much pain as he's going through. I talked to Coach Ackerman on Friday, and he said that it is painful still for Rick to raise his arms above his head, and that has to really hurt when you have to go up and get a rebound like Rick does, especially being the big guy, the guy expected to get all the rebounds.
Sure, and I don't think he's rebounding as much as he has in the past, but he still is scoring, and he's really taking advantage of his turnaround fadeaway jumper. He's not scoring so much right inside on the boards, though he is scoring there a little bit, but he is relying back to his fadeaway jumper.
Once again, the key to this basketball game, the key to the Mountaineers all season, outside shooting. Kenny May or Sean Newman gets hot. This is a totally different team than when they're struggling. Right now, Kenny's struggling a little bit. Hopefully, we'll be able to get him back on track for tonight's game.
Sure, and especially when their guards, when their guards are each having a 10-point, 15-point night, there's no doubt that Mansfield's going to come out of here with the W. And you've seen in the past, you know, Tim Cook can score 15 points, Sean Newman can score 15 points. If Kenny May gets really hot, he can score close to 30. And when they get that distribution of scoring, that's when they win.
Leland Kent, of course, still hobbled by that ankle injury. He saw limited time in the Millersville game. How do you think Mansfield's going to react after playing down there at Millersville? They really were dominated by the Marauders.
I think they were real disappointed in that loss. I talked to Leland after that, you know, and he said, you know, I played a good game. He's like, but it just wasn't good enough. And Kenny May, you know, was getting shut down. And like we said, Rick wasn't there, and Tim Cook didn't have probably one of his best games. But they have been looking forward to this game so much, having it here, because like I've said before, there's so much of an advantage when you play at your home court, and they're really excited about this.
Leland Kent jumps it up for the Mountaineers, and real quickly before anything major happens, we're going to have an interview here. Let's go to our Kristen Leitzel.
I'm here with Terry Day from WETM Channel 18 News. Terry, how do you feel about us doing these live broadcasts of sports events here at Mansfield?
I think it's outstanding. I wish I could have done it in college. I went to school at Buffalo State, and if I had this kind of opportunity, I spent a lot of time interning at TV stations, and that was invaluable, but I imagine being able to do something like this would just be, it's great. It's outstanding.
And do you usually come up here to most of the games and get live footage of the girls and men's games?
We probably make it up to about half. We'd like to make it up to more, but we have such a huge area to cover. Elmira and Corning are primary responsibilities, but any chance we get to come down to Mansfield or anywhere in the northern tier, we take it.
Okay, well, thanks for talking to us tonight. Now back to Mike and Mark.
Okay, thanks, Chris. And how about Mike and Beth? That would be a little bit more appropriate now. The Mountaineers ran the shot clock down to the full 45 seconds the first time, got off a bad shot, but we have no score with 18 minutes and 50 seconds left.
These are two teams that are very capable of playing excellent defense. So you can see East Stroudsburg really tightens up on their defense already.
Cook has it at half at the foul line. His shot sits on the rim and falls in, so the Mountaineers get on the board first, on top 2-0.
East Stroudsburg doesn't want to let people like Tim Cook get hot because he can have a great night if he does.
Maurice Clark with it. He gets it over to Eric White, and White's jumper is good. 6'6", 230-pound junior from Rochester, New York. Newman to play the point for the Mountaineers. He's being guarded by Murdoch. Looking down to Cook. We'll swing it back out and start the offense over again. This is going to be a big matchup here, Kent versus Eric White.
Leland should be able to overpower him if he gets into his rhythm. He needs to just get a little bit of confidence, and once he does, he's really hard to stop.
Fisher gets it out to to Kent, and Kent's jumper is good, so 2 points for Leland Kent. Mansfield on top, 4-2.
Leland's become more and more comfortable with that outside shot.
Swinging it around. The ball out now to Murdoch up top. Jeff Macko touches it for the first time. Down to Murdoch. He had the shot, didn't take it. Looks down inside, and they give it to Lonnie White, and White is fouled. Foul will be called on, I believe, Tim Cook. So that's Tim's first foul. I'm sure Coach Ackerman doesn't want to see him get into foul trouble.
No, definitely. He's not someone that you can lose, especially in the first half. If he gets 2 fouls, chances are coach is going to take him out and sit him for a little while.
Lonnie White at the free throw line. He'll be shooting 2. White, the leading scorer on this team, averaging over 17 points per game. He makes the first. Go to the line to shoot 2. 4-3 the score, just getting underway. 17 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first half. White to shoot the second. Up and good as well, so we have a tie game. Stroudsburg showing press.
This is what Mansfield has to watch out for because they had so much trouble with it in their first meeting.
Mountaineers break it easily, and Newman turns it over. Ball will go over to the Warriors.
I think it's a little difficult to have someone like Tim Cook playing in the forward position. He's good enough to be in there, but sometimes, I mean, he's better on the outside, I think.
Cook can shoot from just about anywhere on the floor, both inside and outside, outplaying good defense on Maurice Clark. Macko with it, over to White, inside, and they're going to call a foul. This may be on Chris Fink. And
I think it's on Tyrone Fisher.
That's who it was on. I wasn't sure if he said 23 or 33. If it would have been 33, would not have been a good news situation for the Mountaineers. Fisher knocks it away. Good play by him. They tried to get it into White. 2 Whites on this team. Number 5, Eric White, and number 34, Alani White. They get it inside to Eric. Eric puts up a shot, and it's good, right over top of Kent.
The thing Mansfield has to watch out for is letting East Stroudsburg get themselves into a good rhythm because they get confident. They don't care where they are, home or away. They'll get going, and they'll be very hard to stop.
Fisher gets it to Newman. Newman puts up about a 10-foot jumper, no good. Rebound to Clark. And Clark, they're going to call a foul on Tyrone Fisher. So that's 2 on him. We're going to see Kenny May come into the game. And this is a big substitution. Kenny needs to come in and play a big game as we see Fisher going over and taking a seat on the bench beside assistant coach Ed Robinson and Rick Sabek.
That's a tough second foul to take, not even 4 minutes off the clock. It could hurt Mansfield in that Kenny May's not as quick as Tyrone, but he sure is a much better offensive threat.
Evan Engel into the game for Stroudsburg. He started the first time these two teams notched up. Murdoch cross court to Clark, and Clark's jumper is good. So it is 8-4. Stroudsburg playing solid so far.
Murdoch really passes up his offensive opportunities.
Definitely not like his brother. Kent turns it over, almost picks up the foul, but White turns it right back over. Tim Cook has it. He doesn't take the jumper. His pass is swatted away, knocked out of bounds by Maurice Clark.
Mansfield might be looking to pass too much. When they have the open jumper, they got to take it.
Kent out, Sabek in. Newman to inbounds, having some trouble. And they're going to have a 5-second call, so Stroudsburg will get it back.
I'm really surprised to see that turnover. Sean's usually very aware of the 5 seconds. If anything, he usually calls a timeout.
Stroudsburg to bring it up the floor. Murdoch at the point now. As you mentioned, he has been very shy about shooting this ball. Dishes off once again to Clark. Clark for 3, no good. Rebound knocked out of bounds and off of Lonnie White. Mountie ball.
Some of these Mansfield players look a little tired already.
Newman gets it ahead to Sabek. Sabek will shoot it from out there. Newman has it. His shot is short. Rebound by Fink, and Fink is fouled.
That's a great fake. That's a way to be aware.
Great heads-up play by Chris Fink as he gets his first rebound.
Chris really does a great job for Mansfield if he keeps himself out of foul trouble.
Foul charge to number 5, Eric White, his first. Fink to go to the line to shoot 2. Chris having his trouble at the free throw line, shooting just 25% on the season. Misses the first. He'll go to the line to shoot number 2 now. And that one is good. 8-5 the score. The Mounties trailing by 3. Clark with it. Out to White. Back to Murdoch. Engels 3, no good. Rebound to Sabek. And here come the Mountaineers. Newman with it. He stops, pulls up. Sabek swings it out to Kenny May. May goes left into the lane. Back out to Cook. Cook's shot is no good. And they're going to call a foul on Eric White. That is the second foul on White. And we're going to have an interview now with Mountaineer women's head basketball coach Karen Bogus.
Hi, this is Lisa Pody with the coach of the women's basketball team, Coach Bogus. Coach, I was just wondering, what do you think happened out there this evening?
Well, we didn't do a great job of handling their pressure, and I mean, you're looking at a team that's one of the top 2 in our conference. They played a great game tonight.
Have they been together very long? Are there a lot of seniors and upperclassmen on the team?
We're a very young team. We're starting a lot of freshmen and playing a lot of first-year players, so we'll get better.
As you get better acquainted, you'll do better. What do you think you'll do to improve your skills? Will you have more practices, or what do you think will happen?
I think a big thing is just confidence, so that'll come with age.
Okay, well, thank you for your interview, and better luck in the next game. Thank you. Back to you, Beth and Mark.
Okay, thanks, Lisa. And Rick Sabek has made his presence felt here.
Definitely, he's playing tough inside.
Sabek will go to the line now. 8-7 the score. He got the steal down at the other end. And he'll go to the line now to try and give the Mountaineers the lead. Trailing 8-7, 13:56 left in the first half. First shot rolls in and out.
I think it was because I was thinking Rick's a good free throw shooter. No matter what, every time we say it.
Shooting 75% on the season is Sabek. And the second one, no good. And Chris Fink went high up in the air to swat that ball back. He's improved so much.
And he's really getting up there today for the rebounds.
Goes in, fakes right, goes in and scores. Chris Fink, hello.
Chris really playing outstanding inside so far.
Engel puts up a three, no good. Rebound to White, he loses it on the way up. Knocked out of bounds, off of Kenny May. The ball will go back over to the Warriors.
I don't think Mansfield wants to let happen what happened to them in the last game, and I think they're going to play a lot tougher against East Strouds this time.
Macko at the point. He gets it out to Brian Cunningham. Swings it to Williams. Williams' shot is good. Back on top is Stroudsburg, 10-9, just over 13 minutes left in the first half. Newman looking down, can't get it to Cook. Gets it to Fink. Fink into Sabek. Look for the turnaround here. Takes it, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Sabek. Wow.
That's one Rick usually gets called at least once a game because he does go in so hard on that turnaround.
Like to see that again. I don't know about that. That's one of those touchy calls. And here you go. Here you have the replay. I don't know. I think he did a good acting job there.
Definitely.
Back to live action now. Macko with it, and he gets it to Cunningham. Cunningham being guarded by Cornell Smith. Macko looking down again, cross-court pass to Engel. And they're going to call a foul on Sean Newman.
I tell you, Sean's got that kind of luck. He gets horrible calls like that on him all day. He got 4 really bad calls on him in his last game at Millersville.
Coach Ackerman is hot right now.
I love to see Coach Ackerman at home because he gets a lot worse of a temper than he does when he's on the road.
Newman gets a block. He goes in for the layup, short. The rebound back down to Engel. And here comes Stroudsburg, 2-on-3. Wisely pulling it out is Engel. Macko with it. His pass stolen by Kenny May. Kenny tried to save it. Great hustle there. Ball went out of bounds off of him. Will go over to the Warriors.
Kenny's playing a lot better defense than we're used to seeing him play.
He's definitely stepped it up a notch as well for tonight's game, as has Fink, I think. Newman knocks it out and saves it. Great play by Sean Newman.
Sean is always hustling on defense. He never gives up.
Kenny goes all the way. His shot no good. Cook with the rebound over to Sabek. Sabek with a nice move on the bucket. 11-10, the Mountaineers regain the lead. Stroudsburg setting up on offense once again, and Engel is called for the walk. I think that's something that Mansfield bench has wanted for a long time. And let's take you now to another interview with Lisa Pody.
Member of the Mansfield University basketball team. Tina, what do you think happened? You looked good in the first half. What happened in the second?
I think we just didn't attack the pressure, the full court pressure, and we didn't block out on offense or defense. Pretty much that was what had happened.
Your coach had said you're a reasonably young team. What year are you in?
I'm a junior.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And back to you, Beth and Mark.
Okay, thanks, Lisa. 13-10 the score. Another nice move there by Rick Sabek to give the Mountaineers the 3-point lead. Newman goes for the fake. Engel shot no good. May comes down with the rebound. They're looking good so far, Beth.
And they're really getting it into Rick Sabek, where he's usually, like I said before, doing that fadeaway jumper, and he's really muscling it up inside.
Newman's jumper short. Rebound to Engel. Up ahead to Michael Smith. The ball stolen away by Kenny May.
There's Kenny playing great heads-up defense again. He's really stepped it up today.
I think that's what he needed to do. May tries to get it inside to Cook. Knocked away. Here comes Stroudsburg on the break. Murdoch gives it to Smith. Smith's shot, no good. Rebound, fought for, and it comes up to Stroudsburg. Jump ball, and look who's in there on the floor.
Kenny May, of course. I think that's probably part of the reason Kenny hasn't been starting, because sometimes when he gets offensively frustrated, he tends to slack off a little on defense, and Coach Ackerman will not tolerate that.
Fink in, Sabek out. Matthews in to replace Cook. So now there may be some pressure on Kenny to score now, as really the only other scorer out there right now is Newman. And they almost turn it over. Clark comes down with it. Murdoch comes back out to start over the offense. Outside to Smith, who's being guarded by Cornell Smith. He puts up a shot, short. Fink down with the rebound.
The whole Mansfield defense is just really coming together today.
May with it out to Matthews. Matthews, the junior from Harrisburg. Kenny May with a shot, and good. And Kenny looks like he has the touch now. Timeout, East Stroudsburg, 15-10 the score. 9 minutes and 52 seconds left here in the first half. And we're
3C's Styling Salon. 3C's Styling Salon, located in Super Duper Plaza, has the latest trends in hair cutting, perms, ear piercing, and highlighting. Open Monday through Saturday. Call 662-3344.
And by First Citizens National Bank. First Citizens National Bank has expanded hours to serve you better. Open Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 4:30, Friday, 8:30 to 6, and Saturday till noon. Plus, Pronto Tano is open for your 24-hour banking convenience. First Citizens National Bank.
Mansfield University presents Into the Woods, to be held at Strawn Auditorium February 24th through the 27th at 8 p.m. and February 28th at 2 p.m. Stephen Sondheim's Broadway show, Into the Woods, over 3 years running and winner of 2 Tony Awards. For tickets, call 662-4781. Adults, $5, seniors and children, $4, and students, $2. For Into the Woods.
back here at Decker Gymnasium, and the tight shot right there.
Sure, it's a cute kid.
Stroudsburg trailing the Mountaineers 15-10, 9 minutes and 52 seconds left in the first half. Mountaineers have played superb to this point.
I tell you, and Kenny May came down and drained that first shot that he took, and you can bet that he's got confidence already, because that's all he needs. And here he goes with another steal.
There he goes, puts it up, and boy, if he would have missed that, Cornell Smith would have been right there, and I think he would have lit this crowd up.
And Kenny can really get this whole crowd going. When he gets hot offensively, the fans go crazy.
Murdoch goes in, his shot no good, a rebound Fink. It came down off of the back of Murdoch, the third rebound for Chris Fink on the night. The Mountaineers will get the ball. Macko back in to replace Clark.
Cornell Smith's got to be excited about the playing time he's been getting in the recent games. He came in real early at the Millersville game, and here he came in real early in this game too, with only minutes off the clock.
He played really strong out there. May looked for the shot, instead swung it out to Matthews, to Cornell Smith. His one-handed jumper no good. Rebound to Matthews, knocked out of bounds off of Joe Williams. It'll stay with the Mountaineers.
You know, James Matthews might not be that big, but he sure does play well inside.
He has it out in the corner now. Looking inside to Fink. Fink's played well as well as a couple of players in this Mountaineer squad so far. Mounties up by 7.
And Fink's really looking to take it at his defensive player a lot more than he usually does.
Matthews looking inside, 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Gets it down to Newman. Newman swings it out to the outlet in May. 10 seconds left now. Kenny spots up for the three. No good. Rebound down to Murdoch. Ahead to Smith.
Smith could have drained that outside jumper.
And they're going to call an offensive foul away from the ball. I didn't see what happened, but it's going to be called on Joe Williams.
I think Williams was pushing off.
That's his first personal foul, the 4th team foul for East Stroudsburg.
Like I said, James Matthews might not be that big, but he can get around those players inside because he's smaller and he's quicker, and he can force them to foul him that way.
Newman, Sabek, Matthews, Fink, and May on the floor for the Mountaineers. Kenny's looking to shoot at almost any time right now.
You can really see how much confidence he has. He hasn't been taking the ball at his defensive player in several games.
And now we have an offensive foul called on Sabek. Under 8 minutes left, 7 minutes and 56 seconds. 17-10 the score. That's personal foul number 2 on Sabek. Leland Kent will come in to replace him.
They really have to get Leland into this offense too, because he's been such a key factor throughout the whole season. And in recent games, he hasn't scored that much, but he still is an important factor. And when he can get his shot going, he's just as deadly as Kenny May can be.
Murdoch to Macko. Murdoch had the shot again, didn't take it. Eric White back into the game. Murdoch definitely the point guard. He's the catalyst of this team. He's not going to be one to take the shot. Smith takes a shot, no good. Over the back, going to be called on Lonnie White.
Mansfield has to be very happy that East Stroudsburg's not taking that outside shot. They've been open at least 5 times.
That's White's second personal foul. And all I heard was Coach Ackerman saying, "That's terrible." I don't know what happened. They've called a technical foul.
Something happened that I didn't see?
So in any event, Macko will go to the line. His first one misses. He'll go to the line to shoot number 2. But even if he misses this, still Stroudsburg will get the ball back.
If they called that T on Coach Ackerman, that's some sensitive officials. And Ackerman better realize that real quickly, because he can really get his temper flying.
Macko at the line, shooting 2. Shot is good, so this will be possibly a 5-point turnaround here. Michael Smith to inbounds for Stroudsburg. Murdoch being guarded by Newman. Mansfield playing a man-to-man defense. Newman plays good defense, knocked away by May. Kent gets it up ahead to Kenny. Kenny's layup no good. Rebound to Eric White.
Kenny tried taking that one up with his right hand and just blew it.
Macko with being guarded by Newman once again. Smith spots up for the 3. Stepped on the line. Ball will go back over to the Mountaineers.
Tells you how deep he was out there.
Would have almost had to be an NBA 3 when he shot it. 7 minutes exactly left in the game. 17-11 the score. The Mountaineers up by 6. Their biggest lead of the game has been 7. May gets it to Kent. To Matthews out top. Kenny looking for the shot once again. Down to Leland. Leland with a head fake. His shot is good. He wanted the bucket. Not going to get that call.
I think the officials might not be really used to making that call, and it kind of throws them when it's even in that situation.
Foul on number 40, Joe Williams. And there you see it, and we'll get a chance to see if it was goaltending or not. I don't know.
I don't think he even touched the ball. I think they came off the rim.
Kent will go to the line to shoot 2. Leland's had his problems at the free throw line this year. He misses the first. Leland coming in shooting just 50%. I figured maybe a little reverse psychology there. If I say he's having his problems, maybe he'll drain them. Unfortunately, that one didn't work. But the second one is good, so Leland stays on that 50% average. Gives the Mountaineers a 7-point lead, 18-11.
Free throw shooting could be their downfall if they do make it to playoffs.
Shot is good by Macko. He hits a 3-pointer. 6:23 left, 18-14 the score.
Macko didn't really see a lot of playing time in that last East Stroudsburg matchup, but he can be really effective from the outside.
May has it. You know he's looking to shoot right now. He just looks like he's playing with so much more confidence. Down to Kent. Kent goes baseline. And he stepped on the line. Back over to Stroudsburg. 6:02 left.
Leland looked almost a little frustrated after that. He was open on the elbow, and Kenny didn't get the ball to him, and he comes back down the lane with a little frown on his face.
Murdoch bringing it up the floor again. I don't think he's been out in this game. Cross-court pass to Mako. Mako shot short. Rebound to Kent. Kent ahead to Kenny May.
Mansfield's really getting the ball out quickly in the fast break opportunities.
May inside to Cook. Back to May. May to Newman. Newman to Kent. Kent didn't take the shot. May will take it. No good. Rebound to Joe Williams. 18-14. Murdoch with it. And Fink almost got a steal out of that as he knocked the ball away. Went out of bounds off of him.
Chris is playing excellent defense. You usually don't see a big guy getting down on the floor that way unless they're in the paint.
He's done that all season though, really.
I think that's because he's so young and he's got so much aggressiveness in him. Let's just hope he keeps that till his senior year.
Hasn't been banged up enough yet to. No, not to go on the floor after everything. Murdoch gets it to Smith. Smith goes to the right, over to Mako. Mako for three, no good. And they're gonna call it over the back on Michael Smith. That's the first personal foul on Smith. Cornell Smith back into the game, replacing Kenny May. Or no, he's gonna come in to replace Leland Kent.
I think that's Coach Ackerman's favorite jacket. I think he wears it a lot for home games.
It looks good on you though, Coach, it looks good.
And it makes that tie look good too.
Tim Cook to go to the free throw line. The Mountaineers are in the bonus. 4:51 left. Cook's first shot is good. Tim shooting 88.2% in PSAC play, shooting just about 75% out of the league. Todd Bird to come into the game, replacing Sean Newman.
I talked to Todd today. I said, are you ready for the game today? He said, I'm always ready.
Todd, another one showing that freshman attitude, that always hustle. We saw that at the end of the Millersville game. Cook makes them both. 20-14, 6-point Mountaineer lead. Cornell Smith in, he's a freshman. So we have two freshmen, a sophomore, and two juniors in the game. Smith turnaround, nice shot by Michael Smith.
I think the freshmen realize the playing time they get all depends on how well they do, so they really give it their all.
Smith averaging just under 10 points a game. Cornell being guarded by Murdoch, and there he carried the ball. Good defense by Tyson Murdoch.
Excellent defense. That's hard for a freshman to come up against.
Cornell, a 6-foot freshman from Woodbridge, Virginia.
Really surprised not to see Sean Newman or Tyrone Fisher in there. They usually have one of them in there to play that leadership role at the point guard position.
I think Coach Ackerman is getting more confidence in Smith. A two-point shot, no good by Murdoch. Cook down with the rebound ahead to Kenny May. May is going to take it, dishes to Fink. Cook ends up with a loose ball. Swings it out to May. May spots up. And it's good. Three more for Kenny May.
Can't ever give Kenny May that much time to spot up on the three-point line.
Mountaineers up by 7 now. Murdoch to Eric White. White's jumper no good. Rebound to Tim Cook. And here come the Mountaineers running again. The third rebound for Tim Cook. 3.5 minutes left in the half.
Mansfield really out hustling East Stroudsburg right now. They have so much confidence offensively, and they've turned it up so much defensively. East Stroudsburg's having a hard time with that.
Cornell's having a little bit of trouble getting around Murdoch. Bird with it now. Out to Smith. Cornell gets it into Todd. Todd loses the handle. Cook comes up with a rebound. He takes the jumper. Good. Tim Cook gets two more. A 9-point Mountaineer lead, 25-16.
Mansfield really playing with a lot of confidence right now. Coach Ackerman's got to be very happy with them.
Smith with it, and he's being guarded by Cornell. This is an interesting matchup. Murdoch against Bird.
Definitely, I would think Todd Bird's a lot slower than Murdoch.
Smith gets it out to Williams. Williams puts up the shot, no good. Kenny May there for another rebound.
They might have their guards being their biggest rebounders of the day.
The 4th rebound for Kenny. Kenny stopped, he gets stripped by Macko. And ahead to White. White ahead, and they're gonna call a blocking foul on Cornell Smith. Coach Ackerman hot once again.
That was a great defensive play by Cornell Smith. He stepped in and he was in there to take that charge, but fortunately the referee didn't see it that way.
I'm not sure if Coach Ackerman's more upset at the official or at Todd Bird. He was screaming at Bird.
Coach Ackerman's always got something to say to his players. And I don't think he'd ever admit to being happy about any situation until the game's over and done with.
Almost like the Mike Ditka of Mansfield basketball, except not quite as bad. White will go to the free throw line now. He'll be shooting the 1-and-1. White scored 4 points on the evening. Make it 5. And I guess the basket was good there. So it ended up being a 3-point play for White. And Newman was getting mauled on his way up the floor. And they're going to call a foul on Brian Cunningham.
I've seen a lot in this conference that they really let the guards do a lot of pressuring when it comes to the full court pressure. But then once they get into the half court, little touches and they call the foul.
Newman to go to the line. He'll be shooting 1-and-1. Mountaineers have to be getting close to that 10 foul situation here. Of course, that will allow them to have 2 free throws every time they go to the line. He misses the first. There was Fink to knock it out again. Ended up in the hands of Kenny May. Newman spots up for the 3, no good. Rebound down to Cunningham. He gets it to Murdoch. Murdoch hasn't taken a shot yet.
Chris Fink's really stepped up and taken Rick Sabek's position for him right now.
Traveling violation on Cunningham. The ball will go back over to the Mountaineers. Up by up by 6, 25-19. Fink ahead to Cornell Smith. Mountaineers have a 2-on-1 to Cook. Cook's shot is good. 2 more for Tim Cook, 27-19. Bodies flying all over the place, and Fink's going to get called for the foul as Macko takes it to the hoop.
I tell you, this is a Mountaineer team that we haven't seen in a while. They're really breaking this pressure well, where usually they've had a lot of trouble with the full court pressure.
And here you see it again. Chris clearly getting the foul, and the basket was good, 27-21. Referees wiping up some of the sweat that is lying on the floor. Macko to go to the line to try and complete the 3-point play. 1:45 left. Macko's shot rolls out, knocked out of bounds, and it will stay with Stroudsburg. Coach Ackerman saying, how can you call that?
Coach Ackerman really likes to get on the officials' cases. And I think the fans like to see him do it.
Sean Diggs into the game. Ball stolen by Fink. Great play ahead to Newman. Newman tried to force it to Cook. Ball knocked out of bounds by Sean Diggs off of the leg of Cook. So the Mountaineers will get it back. Or excuse me, Stroudsburg will get it back. 1:39 left.
I tell you, Mansfield's getting the great opportunities with the fast break situation, and they're just not making smart choices right now.
Murdoch still in there at the point. He gets it to Macko, out to Murdoch. Again, not taking it. The ball almost knocked away by Fink. Murdoch goes to the hoop, and foul going to be called on Chris Fink.
That's the thing about Chris Fink, is that sometimes he gets a little overzealous like that, and he'll come off his feet real quickly.
1:18 left. And Murdoch will go to the line. Number 2 on Chris Fink. So we'll get to see Murdoch's free throw shooting, or at least his shooting style. We haven't seen it yet this evening.
Surprised to see him so timid on the outside.
I think he's going to have 2 free throws here. The Mountaineers have 10 fouls. Shot and no good. You have to hate that as a player when the ball just sits up there on the rim and then it falls out. It's okay if it falls in.
Yep, you're waving it in, and bang, it comes out.
Back to shoot number 2. This one is good, all net. Murdoch averaging just 4.6 points per game.
Well, he's got 1 of his 4 now.
And they call a block on Evan Engel on May. Kenny will go to the line.
I'm real impressed with the way Kenny's playing today.
1:11 left here in the first half. 27-22 the score. May will be shooting the 1-and-1. That was the 9th team foul on East Stroudsburg. Kenny's shot, no good. Cook tried to swat it out there like Fink has. There we go.
I can't believe the trouble that Mansfield's having with their free throws.
Engel with it. He's being guarded by Smith. Over to Macko once again. He's being guarded by May.
I tell you, I'd hate to be the person being guarded by Cornell Smith. He is so quick.
15 seconds left on the shot clock. Mansfield playing great perimeter defense right now. Down to 8 seconds. Murdoch's going to go to the hoop. He dishes out. Engel's shot is good. And that has to be a little bit disheartening. Shot clock is off. 20 seconds left in the half. We'll see if the Mountaineers play for the last shot.
That's always tough. You get the shot clock down to 3 seconds, and then they drain a three-pointer on you.
Cook looks up at the clock to realize where he's at. Looks up again. 8 seconds left. May puts up a shot, is rejected by Murdoch. Ahead to Macko, and Macko can't get it off before time expires. So Mansfield has played fairly well. They're only up by 2, 27-25. We'll be back right after this.
This production sponsored by Pudgy's. Pudgy's on South Main Street in Mansfield is the place for pizza and subs. With local delivery, a convenience store, and convenient hours, Pudgy's is a store for you. Call them now at 662-7177 and have them deliver a pizza or sub so you can enjoy the rest of the game.
And by Horns Chiropractic Health Center of Towanda. Horns specializes in sports injuries and other chronic pains. Horns also has a new rehabilitation center. Call 265-9796 to set up an appointment today. Horns Chiropractic Center.
And by the Tin Goose Gift Shop. The Tin Goose Gift Shop at 15 North Main Street in Mansfield is your place for unique and unusual gifts. The Tin Goose is open Monday through Thursday 10 to 5:30, Friday 10 to 8, and Saturday 10 to 5:30. The Tin Goose Gift Shop.
We're back here at Decker Gymnasium. The Mountaineers on top, 27-25 over the East Stroudsburg Warriors in a very tough played first half. Right now, we're going to take you to an interview with Mansfield University President Rod Kelchner, who's standing by with our Kristen Leitzel.
I'm Chris Leitzel, and I'm here with President Kelcher. President Kelcher, I noticed that all of us EMA workers are wearing the Save North Hall buttons. Can you tell us something, what the situation is like right now with North Hall?
Well, the situation is hasn't changed much lately. The design work for the building has been completed. In fact, it's been completed for 2 years. The money for the building was approved 5 years ago, and we're simply waiting for the Office of the Budget, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Office of the Budget, to put the design work on the street so that bidders who want to do the construction work can place their bids. And so we're waiting for those bids to be issued, and then the work can begin.
When construction actually starts, how long do you think will be before the building is completely finished?
The estimates are 18 months. Given the experience we've had, I'd say probably 2 years is more reasonable, but 18 months to 2 years.
And is it still going to be all libraries put in the one building?
The first 4 floors would be library space, and that would be a consolidation of the 3 libraries we have now. The 5th floor would be for offices that would have to be vacated because in Alumni Hall, we want to turn that over to a student union. So the administrative offices that are in Alumni Hall would move to the 5th floor, and then the 6th floor would be conference room.
Okay, well, thank you for your time, President Kelchner. And now back to Mike and Mark.
Okay, thanks, Chris. And once again, Beth, I think they forget that you're here.
Sorry I was late, guys, but I am here.
All right, now we're going to take you to a segment about the Mansfield men's basketball team, and let's take you to that right now.
Head coach Tom Ackerman, a graduate of St. Vincent College, is now in his 4th season with the Mountaineers. While student teaching at Latrobe Junior High School, he served as assistant coach for the boys basketball team. It was then that he fell in love with coaching. He continued at Latrobe Junior High for the next 3 seasons. Coach Ackerman then returned to St. Vincent College as assistant coach for the next 4 years. In 1985, Coach Ackerman took on the position as head coach at Pitt Bradford for 4 seasons. Then, in 1989, Coach Ackerman accepted the head coaching position at Mansfield University. We asked Coach Ackerman what he plans to do differently in their rematch against East Stroudsburg.
Win. I think having Rick will help us, because what happened in the first game, we played very well. We led most of the game, and they wore us down inside. We didn't have our normal rotation. And I think having Rick back in there to play defensively against Lonnie White and Eric White will make a big difference for us.
Coach Ackerman is quick to point out all the assets his players have.
Tyrone Fisher, who's been injured, has been starting at the point for us. Very good defensive player. He's got good quickness and runs the offense well. Kenny May has started all but 1 game for us this year. An outstanding shooter when he's got his head going on right, and he's standing over there, so hopefully he heard me say that. Has improved tremendously defensively and is taking better care of the basketball. Sean Newman has really come a long way, I think, just this year. In terms of his defensive play, he's taken over more control when he has to run the point. And he's a very good shooter. Tim Cook has been he's been, again, the 3rd year in a row, he's probably our most consistent player. You know every night what you're going to get from him, and he's really picked up his scoring. And he's capable of going out and getting 20 points every night now. Leland Kent, one of our 2 seniors, has really come through big for us, especially when Rick was out. He was averaging double figures rebounding and scoring. Has really been a force on the boards when he gets after it. Rick Sabick, you know, I think when he's healthy is the best center in the league. He's got great post moves. He's a good rebounder, block shots. Chris Fink, he gets better every time he steps out on the floor. Maybe our best interior defensive player, just a real strong player who has come a long way in terms of his basketball ability. And finally, James Matthews, who plays as hard as anybody, and when he's playing with his head on straight, can defend anybody and really helps us run our offense well.
Well, it feels great to be back. It's tough sitting on the sidelines watching. I sat out 4 games, and it's tough, especially my senior year. It's tough to see the team struggle since we worked so hard. I feel the effort's been there for our team. It's just when it comes down, we can't score, and I don't know why that happened, but it's great to be back.
I think there would be 2 factors. One factor will be rebounding. We must keep Eric White and Lonnie White off the boards. And the second factor will be breaking their press. You know, second half of our last game when we played East Stroudsburg there at their home, we had a tough time beating their press at the end of the game.
No, I wasn't disappointed at the beginning of the season because I wasn't playing very well. I wasn't shooting very well. And I wasn't playing no defense, and I was just playing a lackadaisical game. So I'm not too disappointed about not starting in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I do, because I know my role in the offense, and it is to score. And when teams know that, they try to take me out, and when I'm hounded, it does frustrate me. But there's other things that I can do to contribute to the team.
Well, I'd like to win the rest of them and make the playoffs. You know, I think it's a reachable goal. We just got to come out and play hard like we did tonight, every night, and take it from there.
Okay, we're back here at Decker Gymnasium. 27-25 is the halftime score. And right now, our Lisa Pody is standing by with Sports Information Director Steve McCluskey.
Hi, I'm here with Steve McCluskey, head of Sports Information. How are you doing this evening?
Hey, doing terrific. Got a great game going on today, and hopefully it'll be a Mountaineer win.
Okay, what exactly is entailed in your position as Sports Information?
Well, Sports Information Director is like the public relations person for athletics here at Mansfield or at any school. Our job is to promote athletics in a positive manner. We do all the statistics for all 11 sports here, the national statistics, the conference statistics. We also formulate feature stories. We arranged for coverage today. One of the reasons why Terry Day was down here today was that we had arranged for that coverage earlier on in the day. Write the articles for the newspapers and just generally kind of do the do-alls of athletics.
What other things have you done to prepare for tonight's game?
Well, we started off today by preparing the inserts for the program. Earlier on, we had done the program itself. Then we do the stat sheets. Each game has, we have 4 statisticians to stat each game besides just shots and rebounds. There's assists and turnovers, steals and blocks. So it's kind of a complicated thing. It's an all-day project.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time, and hopefully we'll have a Mountaineer win.
Yeah.
Okay, back to you, Mike and Beth.
Okay, thanks, Lisa. And what do we have here? Yes, a future Mountaineer. Oh, look out.
The future generation.
Wow. Okay, let's take a look at some halftime statistics. I guess it's the thought that counts. For the Mountaineers, they're getting scoring from, yes, Tim Cook. Tim's on his pace of every other game to get 20 points. This is the day for it. He has 8 so far in the first half.
And to see the distribution of the Mountaineer scoring is a big factor, and that's usually when they're the most successful, which they have been in the past.
Kenny May has scored 7 points.
And Kenny's really been shut down recently. Now that he can get out, and you can see how much confidence he's playing with right now, that this can be a big factor for the Mountaineers' win.
And with Kenny's 7 points, he also has 5 rebounds, leading the team.
Like I said, that's an amazing statistic, I think, because he's playing so hard defensively, and these are basically all defensive rebounds that he's gotten.
For East Stroudsburg, they've struggled. Their scoring has been from different members of their team. Jeff Macko, the leading scorer, with 6 points. Eric White has 5, and I think that's something that is key to the Mountaineers. They have no one player beating them, which has happened several times. Of course, they had 2 in the Millersville game in Dunmeyer and Kenny Brown. Right now, they're not allowing any player to get hot, and if they can do that, they can probably win this basketball game.
Exactly. Stroudsburg is scoring a lot, getting a lot of scoring from several players, but they're only like 2 and 3 points, and that's all. I think the key is to keep that scoring down, not let so many people score, because as you can see, Mansfield already has a couple people who are hot, and if they can keep themselves hot and then keep East Stroudsburg shut down, they're definitely coming out of here with a victory.
I tell you what's impressed me so far about the Mountaineers is the defense they're playing. Tough, tenacious defense. It looks like they're really into this basketball game, and if they can keep that up, that's going to be another key.
I think the difference is that everyone is playing great defense on their team. Sometimes they have that 1 or 2 people that are slacking off a little bit, and when you have someone like Kenny May out there that's not usually, I mean, he's a good defensive player, but he's never this aggressive as he has been today, and I think that's a big factor, and if he keeps up playing this strong, East Stroudsburg's going to have a long night.
Kenny has played great defense, as has Chris Fink.
Chris Fink is inside, and he's really getting those balls out of there. He's ripping down the rebounds, and he's really come up big today, I think.
Rick Savic's played well himself.
He hasn't played much, but the time he's been in there, he's really made a factor. He's been in, and he's, like I said, going inside a little stronger than usual. Usually he's taking that fadeaway jumper, and now he's really relying more on the inside, which we haven't seen him do in the last few games.
The problem is Rick's picked up 2 quick fouls. He has just 6 points. Those 6 points were big, though, at a time when the Mountaineers were trailing. And then all of a sudden Rick got hot, and then all off. The Mountaineers are right there on top in this basketball game.
And Mansfield's really scoring a lot from inside, whereas East Stroudsburg really taking the little 10-foot jumpers.
One of our Mansfield cheerleaders is ready to be interviewed by our Kristen Leitzel. Take it away, Chris.
I'm here with Heather. She's a member of the Mansfield University Girls Cheerleading Squad. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
How do you feel about this game tonight, the men's game?
It's pretty rowdy. I don't know. It's very hectic. A lot of people have fallen. A lot of people are, I don't know, going back and forth a lot. Guys haven't done it as well as they have in the past, though. They're missing a lot of shots, so.
Are the crowds, doesn't seem very many fans here tonight. Is it usually like this, or does it get crowded, more crowded?
It's usually a little more people, but I think a lot of them might be home watching this, you know.
They're home watching it live?
Never know, you know. They're not very rowdy tonight, though, either, so.
Okay, you did a pom-pom routine. Is that at halftime?
Oh, the dance. We had made up a dance for halftime.
Do you do any kind of competitions? Do you go anywhere and compete?
We haven't this season. We did a couple seasons ago, but we haven't gotten the chance this semester. We've just been too busy.
Okay, well, thank you for your time, Heather. Now back to Mike and Beth.
Okay, thanks a lot, Chris. We're back here, and hopefully a lot of you are back there watching this live. I know this is definitely exciting for all of us here in the Electronic Media Association to put on an event like this.
And I tell you, I know a lot of people are sitting back in the dorms watching this game, which I think it probably did hurt the attendance a little bit, just because Mansfield students aren't used to getting this kind of attention on the television.
And that hill's a tough walk.
It sure is, and it's a little cold out there today.
About ready to get underway. We have about a minute left in the halftime activities here. What does Mansfield need to do to come back and win this game, or to hold on and win this game?
Well, they need to keep up the pressure defense that they've been playing so far, and they also need to keep up this distribution of the scoring, because even though like Leland Kent, Chris Fink haven't scored a lot, they have contributed. And like we said, Chris Fink, what he's doing defensively, we cannot take away from him. He's doing an excellent job defensively. They need to keep up that defensiveness and the confidence that they're showing on offense.
For Stroudsburg, what do they need to do?
I think Stroudsburg's got some talented shooters on the outside that they're not really using right now. You've seen several of them spot up on the outside and not really take the shot. And I think that they need to start doing that, because inside, Mansfield's really pressuring them hard and making it hard to score inside.
I think Tyson Murdoch needs to look to shoot the ball. I think really, this half, it wouldn't surprise me if Mansfield drops back and gives him that shot if he's going to be afraid to take it.
Well, I tell you, he's been inside that three-point line with an easy 14-footer, and he's really not looking to take that. And I think they could probably do that, slack off a little, and then if he sticks one, pressure it up on him again, because there's no question they can pressure him on the defensive end again.
Mansfield gets the opening possession. Leland Kent makes it a profitable one as he drains the jumper, 29-25.
Leland getting more and more confident in that shot every game.
White with it. His jumper is good. He answers Kent, 29-27.
Almost from the same spot.
Newman looking down inside to get it to Cook. Cook is really battling down there with Clark. Ball knocked away. Stolen back by Kent. Jump ball. Bodies all over the place. Looked more like a rugby match out there than a football game.
East Stroudsburg's really come into this half ready to play. They're playing excellent defense already.
Ball will go to East Stroudsburg. So great hustle showed there by Leland Kent. 3 Stroudsburg players in Leland, and the Mountaineers get the jump ball.
I think Mansfield has to remember what happened to them in the last game and not let it happen again, because they were up going into the second half. and for a better part of the second half, and then East Stroudsburg really turned it up. Granted, that might have been because they had a great crowd at their home court, but Mansfield can't let that happen to them again.
Newman guarding Murdoch. Macko has it. He'll take the shot, and he does. It rolls around the rim, no good. Tip, put up another tip, and the rebound finally brought down by Macko again. His shot, no good, but they're going to call a foul on Leland Kent.
Mansfield's playing the defense in there. They're just not getting the rebound right now.
That is the first personal foul on Leland Kent. Leland has 3 points on the evening. Macko to go to the line, and there you see the replay. Now Macko to the line to shoot 2. First one is good.
East Stroudsburg's really not a team that you want to put to the line much.
29-28 is the score. Stroudsburg shooting 64% from the free throw line. Macko drains the second. Press being applied by Stroudsburg, stolen by Murdoch. Over to Clark, his shot is good. And Stroudsburg takes the lead. Blocking foul called on Macko. Stroudsburg bench wanted the charge.
This is what happened in their last matchup that killed Mansfield. They can't allow themselves to be flustered by the pressure like they were in the last game. I talked to several of the players coming into this game, and they said, we're ready for it this time, but hopefully they better show the poise that they need to break the press.
Newman will bring it up. He'll be guarded by Murdoch. Stroudsburg dropping off in the press just a little bit. 31-29 is the score. Newman with it now. 18 minutes, 20 seconds left. Kent pops it back out to Newman. Sean goes left. Jumper good. Tied at 31.
Sean is so effective on that running jumper, and that's only his first points of the game.
There goes White. White rejected by Leland Kent. And here comes Mansfield again. A 3-on-3. Newman will bring it out. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Mountaineers. And while we have a break in the action, we'd like to give our best wishes to Art Selby. Art was supposed to be here with us for this evening's game. Home sick in bed with tonsillitis. So Art, get well, and that bucket was for you.
Is this a Budweiser commercial?
Traveling violation going to be called on Maurice Clark, so the Mountaineers up by 2, and they'll have the ball back.
This Mansfield really needs to take advantage of that turnover right there and come up and make this basket here to put them up by 4.
Newman with it, looking inside to Cook. Back out to Kent, I think, and then to May. May inside to Cook. Cook's shot good. 10 points for Tim Cook. Ball almost stolen again. And another foul is going to be called on Leland Kent. Murdoch, believe it or not, yes, he went up for a shot.
An inside shot, though. He's too little to be taking those inside shots.
He did a good job to draw the foul, though. If he wouldn't have double pumped and then tried to go back up with it, he would have had that shot swatted in a big way.
And that's sometimes Leland Kent, he goes for the fakes too much, and he will always go up in the air on those shots, and he does tend to get too many fouls called on him for something of that mass.
Murdoch to shoot 2. I think that's what makes Leland so exciting, though, is the fact that he can do the dramatic, go up there, swat the shot away.
Well, you have to think that Leland's blocked enough in his day to want to do that consistently.
There you saw the replay. And Newman has it knocked away from behind. 3-on-2, Murdoch, he had to walk there. And they're gonna call the travel first.
That's another great example of the referees really working together. We saw the referees at Millersville work together, and I tell you that East Stroudsburg coach is not happy with that call.
Hopefully we could see that again, but it was apparent that he did walk. The one official called the foul, the other one called the walk. Newman looking to get it down to Cook. Can't get it to him. Fink swings it out to Tim. Tim out to Newman. Newman to the lane. His shot no good. Rebound to Kent. Kent over to Cook. Out to May. May fakes the shot. Goes in for the jumper. Short. And Chris Fink just makes a great play to try and save the ball. Just great hustle by Chris Fink.
Fink is hustling like I have never seen him hustle. He is doing a great job for the Mountaineers. He's really taking the place of Rick Sabek right now.
And there you see what happened. Great play by Chris to try and save that ball. 35-33, the Mountaineers on top. 16.5 minutes left in the game. Murdoch cross court to Clark. Clark swings it to Macko. Macko into the lane. His shot no good. Gets his own rebound, jump ball, possession, and will go to the Mountaineers.
So East Stroudsburg's offense seems to solely rely on the huge skip pass. They're going from three-point line to three-point line across the lane. And Mansfield that's an opportunity for Mansfield to get some steals there.
Kent and May out. Sabek into the game along with Tyrone Fisher. Once again, Stroudsburg applies a press. Fink has some time. And he throws it away. He had to hurry, but maybe not had to hurry quite that much.
Yeah, the guards were so pressured up there, and they were so close to the baseline, too. That's really, they had nothing to do but that. Unfortunately, the guards didn't read that that's what Fink was going to do.
Stroudsburg will get it back underneath their own basket. Michael Smith back into the game. He'll inbounds. And right there is Eric White to dunk it home. The score is tied at 35. We saw a lot of that in the Millersville game. And unfortunately, it wasn't by the Mansfield players.
More than I've ever seen in a PSAC game.
Sabek having trouble. Gets it to Newman. Sean almost turns it over. Out to Rick.
East Stroudsburg's really stepped up on their defensive pressure.
Rick inside to Cook. Cook gets it to Fink, and the foul.
You can really see the officials aren't going to let any kind of simple fouls like that take place. I mean, they don't want to let this game get out of hand by any means, and Murdoch just came in and hammered Fink.
Foul on Tyson Murdoch. I believe that is his second. Score tied at 35. Mountaineers with possession. 15 minutes and 40 seconds left. Fisher gets it over to Newman. Can't find anyone to get it down to. Down low, he'll have to swing it back out to Fisher.
Mansfield's really had to extend their offense right here because of East Stroudsburg's tough defense.
Sabek has it, his jumper no good. Two Stroudsburg players go up for it. Murdoch comes down with it. Michael Smith with it. Now they're going to give it to Engel. Engel for three. No good. Rebound to Newman. Two players collide right in front of us. Fisher, and I believe it was Eric White. Cook with it down low, out to Fink.
It always amazes me to see Tim Cook in there posting up. To me, he always seems like a shooting guard, but he does a great job in there on the boards.
Had it stripped away by Engel, and Sean Newman with just a great effort to break up the long pass.
Sean is really hustling today defensively. Mansfield's getting some stupid turnovers, but East Stroudsburg, as of right now, isn't really converting on them.
Mansfield takes a timeout with 14 minutes and 49 seconds remaining. The score tied, as you can see there, at 35. And we'll be back right after this.
Sponsored by 3C's Styling Salon. 3C's Styling Salon, located in Super Duper Plaza, has the latest trends in haircutting, perms, ear piercing, and highlighting. Open Monday through Saturday. Call 662-3344.
And by First Citizens National Bank. First Citizens National Bank has expanded hours to serve you better. Open Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 4:30, Friday, 8:30 to 6, and Saturday till noon. Plus, Pronto Tano is open for your 24-hour banking convenience. First Citizens National Bank.
Mansfield University presents Into the Woods, to be held at Strawn Auditorium February 24th through the 27th at 8 p.m. and February 28th at 2 p.m. Stephen Sondheim's Broadway show, Into the Woods, over 3 years running and winner of 2 Tony Awards. For tickets, call 662-4781. Adults, $5, seniors and children, $4, and students, $2. For Into the Woods.
Score tied at 35. Stroudsburg with a chance to take the lead. Great defense by Tim Cook. Forces the ball out of bounds. Unfortunately, it will remain with East Stroudsburg.
I tell you, Mansfield can't allow this to be such a close game this way because East Stroudsburg is very capable of going on big runs as they did in the game at their place.
Lonnie White is fouled going up. He's been quiet. Foul will be called on Sabek, number 3 on Rick.
I think Rick looks like he's having a tough time in there. He doesn't look like he's feeling that great. You can always see him grabbing at his stomach, and you know he's in some pain.
White will go to the line to shoot 2. Leading scorer, who's been very quiet so far for East Stroudsburg, coming in averaging 17 points per game, shooting 57% from the free throw line. That's just his 3rd point of the evening. There's a good look at Lonnie.
I tell you, White played an excellent defensive and offensive game when they met the first time.
Big left-hander makes them both. And once again, Mansfield having trouble getting the ball inbounds. Kenny May back into the game.
East Stroudsburg has so much speed, even in their big guys. Their big guys are quick. They really do a great full court press.
Fisher looking to get it inside. He can't do it. 25 seconds left on the shot clock. Matthews couldn't find anyone to get it to. And Fisher gives a nice pass to Sabek, and the crowd wanted the dunk. And White gets the basket and a foul at the other end, and Tyrone Fisher looks like he's hurt.
I tell you, it's plays like that that Mansfield can't have. He was clearly in there for the layup. They should have just let him go with the 2 points. Now he's got a chance for a 3-point conversion.
Not sure what happened to him. We'll see if maybe we can get it on replay. There's a good sign he's up.
Well, he does have that bad ankle. I'm sure he probably twisted that or something again.
Mansfield trainer Tim Butterfield out, and Tyrone walks off the court.
There's not too many people on this Mansfield team that are going to break down too easily. I tell you, when Tyrone first hurt his ankle, he was in the gym 2 days after that when he was on crutches for a few days, and the second he got off those crutches, he was in there running, doing sprints, seeing how he could turn on it. He's really worked hard this year.
They were saying 3 to 4 weeks, and he was back in less than a week. White makes the free throw, gives Stroudsburg a 3-point lead, and there's another 5-second call.
This is where Mansfield gets in trouble on this press. I tell you, they get their confidence ripped right away from them here.
So Stroudsburg will get it back underneath their own basket, already on top by 3, 40 to 37. Engel with it, swings it over to Smith. Cross court to White. This time they can't hold on. That's a very risky pass.
And they've been doing it all game. That's the pass I'm saying. Mansfield should be able to get in there and steal it if they're playing heads-up help side.
Newman to bring it up the floor for the Mountaineers. He's being guarded by Tyson Murdoch. May goes baseline, brings it back out. Matthews gets it to May, who's cutting. His shot is rejected, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Tim Cook. Engel was there to take the charge, and Ackerman is livid.
I tell you, but Engel really did do a great job of getting in position and forcing that charge.
And here it is. Oh, he was still moving.
Yeah, he was. But he faked it well. Doing a little yelling down there saying, hey, ref, call it.
Back to live action. Murdoch to bring it up the floor. Again, they go cross court to Smith. Smith shot short. Rebound by Lonnie White, so he's waking up. Fink coming back in, a turnover, and the ball will go back over to Stroudsburg. Coach Ackerman may be thinking timeout here.
Definitely, Mansfield is making too many consecutive turnovers. He's got to talk to him.
42-37. Stroudsburg up by 5, 13 minutes and 11 seconds left in the game. Smith, he'll inbound it to Murdoch.
You know, the more East Stroudsburg forces these turnovers, the more confident they get, and they make it that much harder for Mansfield.
Engel gets it down to White, who scores again. 2 more for Eric White. That gives him 12 on the evening. Timeout, Mansfield. So with 12 minutes and 53 seconds left, Stroudsburg on top, 44-37. We'll be back right after these messages.
This production sponsored by Pudgy's. Pudgy's on South Main Street in Mansfield is the place for pizza and subs. With local delivery, a convenience store, and convenient hours, Pudgy's is a store for you. Call them now at 662-7177 and have them deliver a pizza or sub so you can enjoy the rest of the game.
And by Horns Chiropractic Health Center of Towanda. Horns specializes in sports injuries and other chronic pains. Horns also has a new rehabilitation center. Call 265-9796 to set up an appointment today. Horns Chiropractic Center.
And by the Tin Goose Gift Shop. The Tin Goose Gift Shop at 15 North Main Street in Mansfield is your place for unique and unusual gifts. The Tin Goose is open Monday through Thursday 10 to 5:30, Friday 10 to 8, and Saturday 10 to 5:30. The Tin Goose Gift Shop.
It seems like, to me, Beth, that Mansfield's defense has slacked off a little bit here in the second half, and thus the turnaround 44-37. Stroudsburg up by 7.
Mansfield was getting so many turnovers on the pressure defense that they played, and now East Stroudsburg tightened up their defense, and they're killing Mansfield. They're really taking everything away from them, and they're getting the turnovers, and they're getting the more of the offensive chances now.
And as you can see, Mountaineers turned it over again. Stroudsburg will get it back. This is a big game for both teams here. Murdoch goes all the way. Dishes off to Eric White, who puts it up off the backboard and in, 46-37.
Eric White has really come up big for them here in the second half. He's showing so much confidence on offense.
May spots up for the 3, and he got it right over the top of Engel, 46-40. And that's a big bucket for Kenny May, because if he gets his confidence back, this team could climb right back into this game.
That could have been an NBA three-pointer.
And Engel answers from the other side. 49-40.
They can't let Engel sit there on the outside and shoot like that. He's 2 for 2.
Matthews looking for someone to dish to. Dishes inside to Sabek. Sabek's turnaround is good. A great shot there by Sabek, 49-42.
See, Rick's become so versatile again. There he was in the first half using his inside play as his advantage, and now they've taken that away a little bit on him, and he takes that turnaround jumper.
Murdoch out to Smith. Smith goes baseline. Gets it to Lonnie White. White's jumper is good. 51-42, 11 and a half minutes left.
You can see the East Stroudsburg's players all getting so much confidence on offense. Any one of them can come down the court and stick it. Mansfield's got to tighten up their defense and get in their face.
Matthews gets it to May. May's jumper no good. Newman gets the rebound and puts it back up and in. 51-44. Mansfield, I think a key to this game is they're going to have to be in single digits by the time we get to the 10-minute mark. And there's a three-pointer put up by Michael Smith to make it 54-44, a 10-point lead.
East Stroudsburg's really getting distributed scoring right now.
And here comes Eric White. Showtime! White dunks it home.
Good call by Coach Ackerman to take this timeout. He's got to talk to these guys and get them to do something.
10 minutes and 38 seconds left, 56-44.
This is what I was talking about, how East Stroudsburg can go on these big runs. They tighten it up so much defensively that Mansfield doesn't know what to do. They're throwing the ball all around, and they're getting a lot of turnovers.
And here we see the dunk by White. Definitely showtime.
And just gives East Stroudsburg that much more confidence.
I think when you see a dunk, especially at this level, not so much maybe at the Division I level, but at the Division II level, a team gets a dunk and it seems to just fire them up ever so much more.
It sure does. Like you said, at the Division I level, you see those alley-oop dunks. Those are the ones that get those kind of teams going. But here, you see dunks so few and far between, though. You and I have seen a lot in the last 3 days, though. But you don't see them that often, and they really get the team going. But in like in women's, they say the three-pointer is what gets people going. In men's, it's definitely the slam dunk.
Mountaineers trailing by 12. 10 minutes and 38 seconds remaining. It's going to be a tough road from here on out.
You can see the frustration in the Mountaineers' face. I mean, all of them are coming out here. I don't know if they've given up, but I mean, there's plenty of time. There's over 10 minutes left. They have to have confidence in themselves because up until the last 5 minutes, they've played very well. You know, they've played very well, and they need to have confidence in themselves. People like Kenny May right here and Rick Sabek, they have to step up and show their leadership abilities.
And White gets called for the reach-in foul. And you just saw something there. Sabek, with his senior leadership, walked over to Cornell after the play and said, bounce pass, bounce pass.
That's right, and it's little things like that that really can make a difference.
Fisher will inbounds. May gets the screen. It's being guarded closely by Mackill. Spin move, fakes the jumper shot, no good. Crowd wants goaltending. Kent saves it. Has May wide open. Cross court. Didn't get it to him. Fisher goes in. No shot. Well, they're going to call a foul on Tyson Murdoch. That'll be Tyson's second foul.
This is what Mansfield needs to do. They need to start taking it at East Stroudsburg offensively again. They stopped doing that, I think, in the second half. They had so much confidence in the first half, but the same team didn't come out to play the second half.
And there we see the foul on Murdoch. Kent with it being guarded by White. They're looking for May to score right now.
I think they're really trying to isolate him, let him go one-on-one, because he'll pull up and take that jumper all day long.
Kenny's feeling it right now. 2 more for him. The lead back to 10, 56-46. Macko with it. He gets it inside. Shot is no good. Rebound off of the leg, and Smith. Ball goes out of bounds. We'll go over to the Mountaineers. Another player down. This time it's Fink. Fink's getting up very slowly.
Fink has gotten really beaten up in these last 2 games. But he takes it like a man.
He's hurting right now, and you can tell. Gets it inside to May. May will bring it up the floor. It's being hounded by Murdoch the whole way. They switched up on defense now. Murdoch with him instead of Macko. Macko over to Fisher. Fisher goes to the baseline, gets it to Kent. Kent almost stripped. Inside to Cornell Smith. The pass is thrown away by Smith into the hands of Michael Smith.
Can't make the passes like that.
Macko to bring it up the floor. As he does, he gets it to Murdoch.
Mansfield needs to tighten up on them when they stop their dribble like that. Kenny May had Murdoch dead out on top, and Leland Kent just let his guy go out and grab the ball and let him start the offense all over.
15 seconds left on the shot clock. 8 minutes, 50 seconds left in the game. A 10-point Stroudsburg lead right now, milking the clock a little bit. Down to 8 seconds. Murdoch out to Macko. Macko puts up a shot. Short. Ball rolling around on the floor, and they're going to call a foul on Cornell Smith.
I don't know if block was the call on that, but it definitely was a foul.
Maybe a trip. Get a first down out of that on the next possession. Stroudsburg not in the bonus yet, neither are the Mountaineers. Mansfield really needs to hold here. 8.5 left. They're trailing by 10.
I think Mansfield, though, is very capable of going on a run just as well as East Stroudsburg is, with Kenny May's 3-point shooting ability.
And they're going to call a foul. Wow, he called that really late.
The East Stroudsburg coach was looking for a travel, and here they go and call the foul.
Ackerman upset right now. Don't know who the foul was called on.
I think it was on Michael Smith.
It was on Leland Kent.
They call it on us. Yikes.
7th Mansfield team foul. That will send Joe Williams to the line. Excuse me, that is the 6th. Well, Chris Vaughn confusing everyone here in the stands, including us. So it will be the 7th team foul. Joe Williams to go to the line. 8 minutes, 27 seconds left.
this could be a big factor right here at East Stroudsburg in the bonus already, because they really took it to Mansfield in the last meeting with all the free throw opportunities that they had, because they nailed them all.
The free throw was no good, but Stroudsburg came down with the loose ball rebound. Murdoch gets a pick to Williams, and Williams loses it out of bounds.
I think Leland Kent's probably a lot faster than Williams is in there, and that's definitely to Mansfield's advantage, because he can pressure him a little bit more on the outside when he does get the ball.
Boy, would a three-pointer help right now.
And don't think that they won't be looking for Kenny May to be spotting up.
There's May with it out top.
And he's real capable of shooting that deep three-pointer, too, from the NBA range.
Mountaineers swinging it around the perimeter. Great pass from Fisher inside to Kent. And Kent is fouled going up by number 34, Lonnie White.
Kent is so strong inside when he brings down those rebounds. Doesn't matter how much bigger his defensive player or how many defensive players they have on him, he'll go up strong and force the foul.
White doing some pleading with the official, but to no avail. Kent will go to the line to shoot two. And they're forcing Mako to tuck his shirt in.
Yeah, they usually call it the charity stripe here, but that's not the case for Mansfield, I don't think.
These are two big free throws for the Mounties right now.
Well, this could put them into the single-digit deficit, and that's definitely going to help them.
Well, percentages say Leland's going to make this one. 50% on the season. Percentages sometimes lie. Fink that time tried to knock it out, but it ended up in Mako's hands. Ball stolen away by Kent, but his foot was on the line. It seems like anything that could go wrong right now will.
And that's not real usual for Mansfield at their home court. They usually get a lot of breaks, and they usually play a little bit more charged up. I think the crowd might have a little something to do with it, because there is not a big crowd here today. And I think typically, as usual, Mansfield's crowd's not really into it.
Murdoch with it out top. He's being guarded by Fisher. Sabic set to come back in. They do the alley-oop. Almost works. Kent down with the rebound. They're going to call and over the back on Eric White.
What Mansfield needs to do now is maybe take it at Eric White if they leave him in, which I doubt they will, but he's got 4 fouls now, and he's contributed a lot. He scored 11 points just in the second half. He's been a big factor, and that's going to help to get him out of there. But they need to bank on this now. They need to get in there and do something offensively.
That is only the 6th foul, so Mansfield will get it underneath the East Stroudsburg basket, trailing by 10 with 7 minutes left. May looking inside. Gets it to Rick. Rick, turnaround. Baby hook, no good. Rebound down to Williams. Stroudsburg pushing it again. Mako goes. Jumper off the board is good. 58-46.
Mansfield's got to push it at East Stroudsburg on the offense here. And they don't need someone like Tim Cook bringing the ball up either. They need to get Tyrone Fisher in there, playing the point guard, and looking to get Kenny May open, or even Tim Cook inside.
Sabic spinning, puts up a shot, short again. Rick's been short with just about everything tonight, showing the effects of that injury. Ball out of bounds, off of East Stroudsburg. Smith go over to Mansfield.
Plus, you have to keep in mind that Rick's probably been sitting out a lot more in practice than he's used to, so he's not used to all this running up and down the court, because this is probably the most playing time he's seen in a few games.
Kenny May drains the long three, 58-49. That sparked the crowd a little bit.
Now Mansfield needs to bank on this. They need to pressure them so much defensively to force the turnover, or at least get the rebound, and then come back down the court and bring it up slowly. You know, come down the court and set their offense up, run through, and be sure of the 2, maybe even a 3-point play.
Fisher playing great defense on Murdoch. Mako with it, swings it out to Smith. Smith for 3, and he answers again. So he has answered both of Kenny May's three-pointers with big clutch threes of his own.
East Stroudsburg just has so many people scoring right now. It's tough to decide who you're going to key on.
And a blocking foul called on Murdoch. May will go to the line at number 3 on Tyson. Kenny will go to the line for the 1-and-1. That is the 7th team foul.
Well, here's their chance to bring it within 10. These are really important free throws. With only 5 minutes left, they have to do something here.
East Stroudsburg will call a timeout. Up by 12, 5 minutes and 32 seconds left. We're going to take you to an interview now with Kenny May's mom and dad. We'll be back with the rest of Mountaineer basketball right after this.
I'm here with Butch and Phyllis May, parents of Kenny May, number 22 guard on the Mansfield University basketball team. You must be really proud of your son.
Yes, we are, more than just on the basketball court. We're quite proud of the way he acts around other people and also his academics. He takes them very serious.
You're from Troy, Pennsylvania, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, had he always planned to come to Mansfield?
Pardon?
Had he always planned to come to Mansfield? It's
No.
pretty local.
No. Back in high school, he had a lot of different people looking at him, and I really can't say what his deciding factor was. He just made his own decision.
Well, being that you're so close, do you attend many of his games?
All of them.
Do you? Very supportive parents. Well, thank you very much for your interview and enjoy the rest of the game. Back to you, Mike and Beth.
Okay, thank you very much, Lisa. So an in-depth personal interview with Kenny May's mom and dad, and I know that they are very proud of Kenny. Kenny's come out and had a strong game tonight, 15 points. He'll go to the free throw line. It's nice to see Kenny get hot again.
Sure, he hasn't been hot in a few games now, and I think he's a person that can really step above it, like he said in the interview at halftime. He's really, he knows when he's not playing well, and he accepts that. He, like he said, tries to help in other ways. He does have a lot of things to offer this team, and today he's really done it both offensively and defensively.
12 points, Stroudsburg lead. 5 minutes, 15 seconds left. Murdoch with it out top. He's being guarded there by Kenny.
Mansfield's really got to play the tightest defense they've played all game right here, because they are down by 11 points and there's only 5 minutes left. They need to get a little spark under their butts and get it going.
Once again, another one of those bad breaks as the ball goes out of bounds off of the Mountaineers. Remains with Stroudsburg. Smith gets it in to Williams. He's going to go in. His shot short. I don't know if Kent got a piece of that or not. Macko gets it back. They'll probably bring it out. Well, they only have 5 seconds left on the shot clock. No one realizes this, and they're going to get burned. So,
Macko really doing a lot for the East Stroudsburg team. He's getting a lot of rebounds for being his size. He's a small guy to be in there getting so many rebounds.
Ball will go over to the Mountaineers now. 45-second shot clock violation. Sabeck to inbound. Mansfield really needs to score here and score in a hurry.
They seem to run the same offense a lot, which ends up having Kenny May cutting down the gut of the key. But East Stroudsburg's not giving it to him today.
Kenny having a tough time getting away from Murdoch. And another turnover. The ball went right off of the hands of Tim Cook. Leland Kent looked over at Rick Sabeck and said, "What happened?"
Mansfield is getting not one break today. They have to try to make things happen for themselves, I think.
Murdoch bringing it up the floor. He'll get it over to Smith. And here we go with the stall game.
Well, in a positive way, Mansfield can look at this as East Stroudsburg did it to them. If they could have gotten that steal right there, I tell you, East Stroudsburg did the same thing to them. There's 5 minutes left in the game. They were down by 8, and they came up with a big run. The thing is, Mansfield keeps making these fouls, turnover after turnover. They need to tighten up the defense and really take care of the ball.
Sabeck called for the foul. That's going to be his 4th personal foul.
I don't really think they're worried about anybody fouling out right now.
Lonnie White to go to the line to shoot 2. And both guys showing good sportsmanship, went over and little slapping of the hands after the play was over.
I think that showed you Rick being his senior self. You know, he comes up and he says, hey, sorry, when you're a freshman, you're like, hate the person that follows you, and you have a vendetta out for him for the rest of the game, but that really shows his experience.
And I think it really says something about Rick as a person. He really is one of the nicest people on this basketball team.
Believe it or not, he's almost even a quiet guy.
Sabek has it. He thought about the 3. Gets it inside to May. May shot no good. Kent trying to save it. And again, his foot was on the line.
How many times do you see your biggest forward out on the 3-point line giving it into your shooting guard?
It was a little reverse there, now that you think about it. Stroudsburg going to milk the clock here. Up by 13, 3 minutes, 22 seconds left in the game.
Mansfield's really got to look to take the passing lanes away. They're just letting East Stroudsburg do what they want freely right now. They are pressuring the ball, but they're not trying to get out and get the steal.
White gets it to Murdoch. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Smith goes in. His jumper no good. And they're going to call a foul on Smith. That is number 3 on Michael Smith. The 8th team foul, which means that someone for the Mountaineers will be going to the line to shoot the 1-and-1.
Mansfield needs to start doing a little bit of praying here.
And we have one of the red balls that the cheerleaders pass out rolling across the floor.
Those rowdy Mansfield fans, can't control them.
Kent will go to the line now to shoot the 1-and-1. Probably not the best player to be at the free throw line for the Mountaineers right now.
It's hard to say who you'd want at the line right now, though.
Leland misses the first. And Tyson, he looked hurt there, and then he got up and had to make a move, and all of a sudden he was fine again.
That tends to happen.
2 minutes and 45 seconds left. Kent closely guarding White. Cook knocks it away. And again, the Mountaineers player was on the line. Incredible.
Can't get one break. You know, they're finally playing the pressure defense that they showed in the first half, and it's just not helping them. They're knocking the ball away, but still knocking it off themselves. They're not knocking it at any players.
Smith goes high. The ball was knocked out of bounds by May. So Stroudsburg will have it once again. 2 minutes, 37 seconds left, just 23 seconds left on the shot clock. 62-49.
Mansfield's starting to tighten up the defense, but I think they started a little too late.
Murdoch with it now once again. And they're going to call a foul on Fink. Fink diving on the ground. Couldn't quite come up with it. He'll get charged with the foul.
I can't believe they called that foul. There's another example of Chris Fink's hustle defense, and he gets a foul for it.
Number 3 on Chris. Lonnie White will go to the line to shoot, I believe, 2. I think they're over the 10 fouls. Lonnie with just 9 points on the evening. 8 points below his season's average. Fink back out. Sabek, Cook, Newman, May, and Fisher on the floor for the Mountaineers. White drains the first one. It's White, Macco, Murdoch, Eric White, and Michael Smith on the floor for Stroudsburg.
Here's Coach Ackerman showing the team that everyone expected to see at the beginning of the season as the starting 5.
Shot is up, front rim. Here comes Newman. The Mountaineers desperately need trays right now. Newman's shot is just rejected by Michael Smith.
everything they try to do, they try to make things happen, and something happens just to shove it back in their face.
Newman gets it into Fisher. Fisher back to Sean. Sean for three. No good. A rebound to Murdoch. And that may have been the straw that breaks the camel's back. The third rebound for Murdoch. He's come up big, even though he hasn't been scoring. He's played an important role, and I really don't think that he's been out of this basketball game.
No.
Goes over the top to Lonnie White, and a foul's called on White. And Lonnie very vocal about that.
Bet you they would have wished they would have started making those calls a little earlier. Stroudsburg going for that looking for that lob pass a lot now. They really don't have anything to lose.
Sadek will go to the line. He'll be shooting the 1-and-1.
I think Coach Ackerman keeping Rick in the game like this is a perfect example that he has not given up on his team. You know, the team doesn't give up on themselves, and neither does the coach, and that's really an important factor. He's got a lot of confidence in all of his players, and you can tell that by the amount of time some of the people who come off the bench get.
That shot was no good. And here comes Murdoch up the floor once again. 1:43 left. 14-point lead for Stroudsburg. Cook commits the foul on White. And definitely Coach Ackerman just has to be displeased with the outcome of this game. 1:39 left, down by 14. And now some pushing and shoving going on.
And the last time up the court, Tyrone and Murdoch were talking nice to each other. Now all of a sudden they're talking junk.
Ackerman in a discussion right now with the official, and they're going to bring over Stroudsburg head coach Sal Mentesna.
Tyrone Fisher doesn't even look like he really gives a care, and Murdoch's over here just bad-mouthing everything. That's horrible sportsmanship.
I didn't see what happened there. I looked down for a moment, and the next thing you know, I see people pushing and shoving, and
are they getting rid of him? What are
I
they
think
doing?
they've both been ejected from the game.
Ackerman is not going to be happy with that.
Coach Ackerman not happy at all. Cornell Smith in to replace Fisher. And Engel comes in to replace Murdoch.
I think that was the official's way of making it easiest without either of the coaches getting down their throat. With only a minute 39 left, neither coach is going to be too upset with that.
White will go to the line once we get underway here again. He will have 2 shots, I believe.
Mansfield's got to look back and think about the free throws that they've missed. They missed an awful lot of free throws in this game.
White drains the first one. Makes it a 15-point lead, 64-49.
And this is almost exactly the way the game slipped away from them at East Stroudsburg.
18 points for White. Cook goes all the way. His shot no good. Gets the rebound, puts it up, no good. And Smith tips it out. The ball will go back to East Stroudsburg.
You know, and here's Coach Ackerman on the sideline, still not giving up coaching. He's like, there's a minute 28 left, and he's still coaching, sending the subs in, getting fresh people in there. Don't know how much that's going to matter.
Engel will inbound. He gets it over to Mackos, being guarded by May. And they're going to call a foul on Kenny May for reaching in right in front of us here. The first personal foul on Kenny May. And while we have this time, we'd like to thank everyone involved with the EMA production of Mansfield Basketball 1993. I'd like to thank EMA advisors Howard Travis and Priscilla Travis. We'd also like to thank Frank Welker for all of his help in putting on this production. Special thanks to Roger Maisner and the sports department here at Mansfield. Mansfield University President Rod Kelchner, head coach Tom Ackerman of the Mountaineer men's team, Karen Bogus, the Mountaineer women's team, Sports Information Director Steve McCluskey and his staff, and the Mansfield University PRSSA, the Public Relations Society, here on campus.
They really did a lot to get this game together.
67-49, 16-point lead.
I always have to wonder whether Mansfield should use a full court press of their own. It seems that in a lot of situations it could have been helpful, but they really don't do it, and they don't utilize some of the speed that they have.
Sabek puts up a shot that is no good, and they're going to call a foul on Cornell Smith. So Stroudsburg will come down. Would also like to thank at this time the SGA and the Committee on Finance for allowing us to put on this production.
He's just a thankful kind of guy, Mike.
I'm in one of those moods. I can't be stopped. Engel's first shot, no good.
It's really got to make you feel bad when you shoot 2 for 2 from 3-point range and you can't hit a free throw.
Cook gets the rebound. Under a minute now, 55 seconds left. Newman gets it over to Cornell. Cornell stops, puts up the 3, no good. Rebound down to Gayo Smith, to Michael Smith. He loses it, gets it back. His shot, no good. Tip, no good. Engel gets it back. He's going to take it back. Shot clock is off with 35 seconds left.
No sense really fouling in this situation. Mansfield's playing it smart. There's no sense stopping the clock and dragging this out any.
Jumper no good. Rebound to Sean Diggs from Gonzaga in Washington, D.C. 10 seconds now left on the clock. Newman goes all the way. No one's going to stop him. Down to 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and that's going to do it with the final score here from Mansfield. East Stroudsburg 69, Mansfield 51. We'll be back with an interview with East Stroudsburg head coach Sal Montesna right after this.
This production sponsored by 3C's Styling Salon. 3C's Styling Salon, located in Super Duper Plaza, has the latest trends in haircutting, perms, ear piercing, and highlighting. Open Monday through Saturday. Call 662-3344.
And by First Citizens National Bank. First Citizens National Bank has expanded hours to serve you better. Open Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 4:30, Friday, 8:30 to 6, and Saturday till noon. Plus, Pronto Tano is open for your 24-hour banking convenience. It's First Citizens National Bank.
Mansfield University presents Into the Woods, to be held at Strawn Auditorium February 24th through the 27th at 8 p.m. and February 28th at 2 p.m. Stephen Sondheim's Broadway show, Into the Woods, over 3 years running and winner of 2 Tony Awards. For tickets, call 662-4781. Adults, $5, seniors and children, $4, and students, $2. For Into the Woods.
Here with East Stroudsburg head basketball coach Sal Montesna. And coach, you have to be pleased with the way your team played this afternoon, or this evening.
I'm very pleased with the second half. The first half, I thought, we came out and we really didn't have our heads in it. We really weren't executing the way I would have liked to on offense, especially, but I think a lot of that has to be attributed to Mansfield's defense. I thought they did a great job guarding us in the first half. The second half, we got into our tempo. A little bit quicker up and down game, which suits us much better. But I'm very pleased. Anytime you come here and win, you have to be happy. This is probably one of the toughest places to play that we go to all year.
This was a really big game for your team. This was a game that you really needed to win to have any hope of winning the PSAC East. You came out and you played well.
No question. I mean, this is a chance for us to get, we felt, not only sole possession of second place at this particular moment in time, but also a leg up, because Millersville is the only other team in the conference that's won here. And we're kind of hoping Tommy and these kids are going to beat everybody when they come in here. So it even helps us in that respect also. So to go 5-3 now, hopefully we can keep playing. Now we got Millersville Wednesday, but it was absolutely a must game. It was a game we pointed to even 3 games ago as a big game. So that makes it even doubly sweet.
It seemed like your defense really picked up its pressure in the second half. Do you think that was the key? You came out a little bit more aggressive?
There's no question about that. In the first half, not only were we blowing offensive assignments, but we weren't giving weak side help. The weak side defense, we had no vision. There were loose balls bouncing at our feet. We didn't even know they were there. We missed box outs. We really didn't do a very good job guarding, and we were very fortunate to be down only 2. We made some big plays. Some of the kids off the bench, picked us up at the end of the half. But there is no question that in the second half, the pressure defense accelerates the tempo of the game also. And I think that, it was a big key. We got a couple turnovers to get the lead, and then our half-court defense really stiffened up. And it helps, too, when they kind of went cold a little bit. And, you like to talk about it all the time, but you need help from everything, and we got it tonight, fortunately.
Mountaineers shut down your leading scorer, Lonnie White, but Eric White picked up and had a big game for you.
Yeah, it's really been tough for Lonnie because when you become the man on your team and all the defenses are geared to stop you, suddenly it can be very frustrating. And what we've been telling the kids all year is that that's going to happen. Someone else has to step up. And Bert's been doing it really for the last 8-10 games. So, that's nice to see, and I hope it'll continue. We've got like a couple of games here under our belt that we've won, and that's one of the big reasons, because other people besides Lonnie have stepped up and gotten it done. And Lonnie, he may not have scored points, but he was very steady defensively and got some rebounds for us, and his presence opens up other people. So you can't underestimate that.
Okay, Coach, thanks a lot, and congratulations on a big win.
No, thank you very much, and it's always nice to be here, especially if we can get a win.
All right, let's take you now to a commercial break.
This production sponsored by Pudgy's. Pudgy's on South Main Street in Mansfield is the place for pizza and subs. With local delivery, a convenience store, and convenient hours, Pudgy's is a store for you. Call them now at 662-7177 and have them deliver a pizza or sub so you can enjoy the rest of the game.
And by Horns Chiropractic Health Center of Towanda. Horns specializes in sports injuries and other chronic pains. Horns also has a new rehabilitation center. Call 265-9796 to set up an appointment today. Horns Chiropractic Center.
And by the Tin Goose Gift Shop. The Tin Goose Gift Shop at 15 North Main Street in Mansfield is your place for unique and unusual gifts. The Tin Goose is open Monday through Thursday 10 to 5:30, Friday 10 to 8, and Saturday 10 to 5:30. The Tin Goose Gift Shop.
Back with East Stroudsburg's Eric White. And Eric, a big game for you guys up here tonight.
Yeah, thanks. We wanted to concentrate going into the fifth game of the conference season. We wanted to concentrate and make the final 8 games of the season our playoffs. We were 1-3 going into the 5th game, and we wanted to just make the final 8 games our playoffs. And if it came down to it, we would be into the PSAC playoffs.
The Mountaineers shut down Lonnie White, but you picked up the slack. Did you realize that they were going to try and do that? And did you know coming in that you were going to have to pick up the way you did?
Well, not actually. Actually, most of the conference teams try to pack it down on us, and that's why I get a lot of flashes. Lonnie sacrifices some of his game to get me open shots. So that's how I just worked out tonight. Different nights, he's the man in certain nights, and tonight he just happened to be my night.
You guys looking forward to the PSAC playoffs now? You almost have a stronghold on 2nd place.
Right, we're in 2nd place. We're trying to, if we win out, then our destiny is in our own hands. If we just go out and play, then we'll be in. If not, then we have to hope someone loses and put our fate in other people's hands, and we don't want to do that.
Okay, Eric, congratulations on a big game, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks.
All right, I'm Mike Miller saying thank you to everyone involved here with the Electronic Media Association's production of Mansfield Basketball 1993. So, for everyone involved, I'm Mike Miller saying so long, everyone, and thanks for watching Mansfield Basketball.